Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about 12 Monkeys. And this movie is directed by Terry Gilliam, and it came out in 1995, and it stars Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt. And it's a science fiction time travel movie, and kind of an action movie in ways. And I'm sure you all know what this movie is, and I personally really love this movie, and I've seen this once before. I thought it was really, really good then. But upon rewatching it, I really enjoyed it a lot more, and there was so much more that I got out of it. And I haven't seen too much from Terry Gilliam. I've only seen this and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Those are the only two movies I've seen from him, and this movie is completely different from Monty Python, and I really like the direction this movie took, and there's lots of ideas that this movie explores, and there's really great characters, and also lots of great scenes that are really memorable, and everything is really well put together. And I guess I'll just start with the performances and the characters, and I really loved Bruce Willis in this movie. Definitely one of his best performances. He's playing like a prisoner who's has to go back in time and like discover where the origin of this virus, and that's pretty much all he has to do. And he has like so many hurdles he has to go through it to get this done. And he's also a criminal, and the movie establishes that as well, like when he goes back to the past, and you can tell that he's not exactly the best guy in the world, because he like beats people up to the point where he kills them, and that doesn't happen like every 5 seconds. But I will say that it does happen, and it establishes his character very well. And he's not entirely unlikable. There are things to like about him, because he is trying to like genuinely find out where the origin of this virus is, and you're with him. He's just, the movie is just establishing who he is, and it does a great job at doing that. And I really love the dream sequences in this movie. I think they're very well done, and they're never once cheesy to me, and it doesn't come across as unintentionally goofy. And there's lots of things that I appreciate in this movie, and there's lots of choices that are made that I really loved that I can't get into because I don't want to spoil the movie. And Brad Pitt in this movie is amazing. I think this is easily one of his best performances, if not his best performance. And he just performs his character so well. He like goes on and on and on and just never stops talking. And you really do believe that he is a mental patient, and like he just talks about the most insane things possible, and it's always entertaining to me. And there is a lot about this movie that can come across as like unintentionally funny, but the movie knows what it is. And what I mean by that, it doesn't like constantly poke fun at itself, and I'm not saying it never once takes itself seriously. What I'm saying is it knows what it's trying to do, and it doesn't come across as like a movie that is very confused as to what it wants to be. It's always very clear. The tone of this movie is very clear, and everything just makes sense. And also, since this is a time travel movie, I have to bring this up. And the time travel element, you don't have to understand everything about it in order to enjoy the movie. I'll say that much. And the movie does have a fun angle as to like time travel in this movie, and without spoiling the movie, it is interesting what they do with it. And I love the future in this movie. I think it's really well established, and like I wouldn't want to live there. It looks horrible. And this movie is never once boring to me, and once the plot starts to go, it's like scene after scene after scene of like really great stuff, and like it flies by, and there's nothing about it that feels like filler, and every scene in this movie has a purpose towards it, and every creative choice there's like purpose to it, and like it adds to the film, I feel. And if it wasn't there, I wouldn't be super, super upset, but the fact that it is there, it does add a little bit more to the film, I feel, and there isn't really much to dislike about it, and the only flaw I have with the movie is just the time travel not making sense entirely, like in terms of its own rules and consistency, but I can't really get into that because I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, everything is really great, and there's barely anything wrong with it. And if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. And I've seen this movie twice now, and the first time I watched it, I thought it was really good, but this time I really do love it, and I think it's probably one of my favorites. I don't know how high I would put it, like in terms of rating every single movie I've ever seen in my life, but if I were to make a top 100, it would definitely be up there. I'll say that much. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give 12 Monkeys a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of 12 Monkeys, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for X-Men The Last Stand, or X The Last Stand, whatever you want to call it. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.